Hi, Bryan. Thank you for agreeing to talk to us about your experiences as a social worker at the VA in Loma Linda. Can you tell us about your military career and how you ended up in the MSW program at APU?
Well, my military career, I was a Marine Corps Master Sergeant. My job was to fix electronics in the Marine Corps. I did that. I fixed electronics to fixing satellites to getting into the management levels. And in the management levels, I just managed people and used to talk to a lot of Marines about, their choices in education, their choices, life choices after the military. So I got used to just being someone that just gives information to younger younger Marines.
Okay. And when did you decide you wanted to do social work? How did you find out about the profession of social work?
So I was in Azusa Pacific for my undergraduate course in organizational leadership, and they had a Christian worldview portion of that course, and they were like, kind of challenged me. They asked me like, what were you doing to service others? And I like thought really deeply about that because I was a government contractor at the time, working on Camp Pendleton, and it really stayed with me. I'm like, what am I doing to help people? I'm making money, but what am I doing to help others? And I thought about it, and what I came up with was, I want to help veterans because at the time the suicide rate was coming out, and it was like 22 a day, and so I was like, what can I do to help my fellow veterans, which I am, and better that. And I talked to others, and they were like, well, at the VA, they have social workers who can, assist veterans in crisis management and doing therapy to help them reduce the levels of suicidality. So that was my way of getting into the social work field, and I was already a student at Azusa Pacific, so I wanted to continue my education at Azusa Pacific.
Did you have any concerns about becoming a full-time student after, many years of working and being in leadership positions?
I'm a person that's driven by faith, so I know that it was going to be a 2 year gap of me not working, and things worked itself out. I received money from the GI Bill to kind of help offset some cost. Um, I used I worked at the vet center, when I could in the summers to kind of offset extra costs. So everything kind of worked out perfectly. And then once I graduated, I was already had a part-time job as I was finishing up my schooling at Azusa Pacific that I was doing working at the Foothill AIDS Project, and that kind of consistently rolled on until I started full time at the VA. So it kind of
Okay.
kept the money going, and everything kind of fell in place. That I started here soon after I graduated or interned here.
Yeah. So while you were at APU, did you feel supported and valued as a veteran?
Yes, there was a lot of events for veterans that they were scheduled throughout the 2 years that I was there. We went to a couple of dinners, and we had like presentation for all veterans, kind of honoring veterans who were graduating. So that was kind of awesome. Received the red, white, and blue um, robe as we graduated. So it was kind of awesome experience. And we had two other veterans in our class, so we kind of all bonded together. So it helped with the process.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So you got to do your second internship in the program at the VA in Loma Linda, and then you were hired there after graduation. Can you tell us what your role is now, and how do you get to make a difference in the lives of your clients?
Okay, so when I was interning, I had a chance to work in an area called behavioral health outpatient, and so what I did was a lot of intakes for veterans coming in for mental health services. I ran a group, which was a coping skills group, which delivered basic life skills to veterans that have trouble with um, getting over stress management or conflict management and those type of things. And so once I graduated, it was like a total new position that they put me in. It was emergency department. I had no knowledge about the emergency department, but once I got here, they had other social workers that kind of, spun me up. And this role is a lot of crisis management, some medical social work. We deal with placements of elderly or hospice care. We put people into palliative care, hospice, part of our hospital, and out in the community. So I'm kind of linked to the community nursing facilities and here within the VA. And then also with our psychiatric unit, I assess people for danger to self, danger to other, gravely disabled. And I'm one of the first processes of getting a veteran admitted to our psychiatric hospital.
Why would you say that social work can be a good career option for veterans?
Well, I think social work has a lot to give because it's a lot of different aspects of what veterans need, especially if a veteran wants to help other veterans or it's anything in the community. There's a lot of populations that need assistance. So for me, I wanted to help my fellow servicemen and women out there. So this being at the VA, you can work with housing, you can work with substance related issues, you can do mental health, you can do dialysis, all the different areas of the cardiology, all the different parts of the medical side of the house, and do the crisis intervention and work in our psychiatric unit. So it's so many things that we can do to help others out there in the community and other veterans.
Well, thanks very much for talking with us about your experience, and we are glad that you are an APU alum.
Thank you. I'm glad to be one.